There's a lot going on. And then, hey.
Give us 5 minutes. Yes, it's about relax.
Give me tissue or give me water. So
you tell me your business tomorrow. You're on social media. I once had a friend. She did 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Oh, yo. In fact, you know the people that actually deserve INGOZI are these people right here, and these are my sisters. So in 3, 2, 1, yo, NANTSI INGOZI. Guys, let's jump into it. It's your boy Ndiyabulela once again. So today I've got, but I'll allow them to introduce themselves. So I'll start on my left and then follow to my far left.
Guys, my name is Zuma. Doing my 4th year in social work, and then I'm from KZN. Yes, but right now I'm currently in Free State.
Guys, my name is Mahozo Majoro and I am a health science student. I'm doing nursing. This is my 2nd year doing nursing, and yeah, I am a model as well. And yeah, so this is also my first time doing this, and I'm in Free State.
So basically what's going on is, as Olula said, she is a social worker / student. So the main thing about today is to actually understand others, in the sense of, if you see a person there, don't be too quick to judge. When a person comes to you, have a certain way of approaching it instead of just saying, okay, you see. So those are the kind of pointers we are going to talk about today. And yeah, man, hopefully it's going to be very beneficial to all of us. So by jumping into it, I'll start with the question of, so please tell us more about what a social worker is.
Okay, first of all, what I can say, guys, social work, it's all about calling. If you want money, then you should go somewhere else. In social work, it comes within. You should be a social work from there. I don't know, maybe when you were born or what, but a social work, you don't just wake up and say, I want to become a social worker. You should have a passion of working with people, because in that way, it's easy for you to understand other people's challenges.
So I believe, with what you just said, would you actually say, Tina, as the society, we should be social workers? Because I believe there are certain times whereby you get people that are not comfortable coming to social workers or psychologists simply because they're not used to just going to a person they do not know. So would you say, as a society, we should actually also learn to be social workers, but obviously not be professions? As you said, it's a calling. So would you say being a social, as a society, would be a good thing, being a social worker?
Yes, guys, first of all, we know everyone is going through a lot, guys. It's not easy. No one is having anything easy. Everything is difficult. So imagine if we are all kind towards one another. In that way, I think we don't need to even go and study, because with social work is there to listen to you and actually work with you in order to adapt to any challenges or situation that you are facing. So imagine if the world becomes like that, we wouldn't have so much challenges that we are facing right now. So we've witnessed a lot of people who have committed suicide. Most of people got depression. A lot of things happening because people do not have anyone to talk to. Some people, they became so mean because now each and every person is trying to protect themselves instead of being there for one another, because I feel like we need each other in order for us to actually work also in our well-being. And or to add, when we first we're admitted for social work, we were asked to write essays, like an essay maybe about 20 pages, stating why did you become a social worker, and whoever wanted to share shared, and everyone in class, actually we're 32, so everyone shared their stories. And then I found out that people didn't just wake up and decide to become social workers. People are damaged. There are a lot of things that happened to people that made them say, today I want to become a social worker. Maybe I can help, even if I help 5 or 6 people, but I will make a change.
So now I heard you talking about emotions, that we shouldn't be too nice to one another, and secondly, pages. Yeah, 20 pages. So like I wanna ask in the sense of emotion, yeah, because I feel like emotional intelligence is something we're never taught. Yeah. So when as a person, how do you usually handle certain events that occur in a person, because it's like too much of something, like in a point where you don't even know how to handle because it's too emotional to you, probably because it takes you back to what happened to you. So how do you actually stay strong to it in that type of event? Probably maybe because you could answer it in the sense of an event that actually occurred, or like
Okay, what I can say is also what really helped me is when we did psychology, and also during our classes, we were actually trained that if someone comes to you with any challenges, and since most of us we joined social work because of our calling and because of the challenges that we faced back then. My lecturer always said, even if you feel like crying when a client is crying in front of you, but you must just hold your tears. You must as I must train myself to work on my buried feelings, because what makes a person cries, or maybe you feel so you can't control yourself when someone is telling you something that has happened, is because you have buried those feelings.
Sure.
So now when someone else talks about them, they come back because you never dealt with them. So that's why we're encouraged to attend psychologists, go and talk to someone, talk to our lecturers, be open about the things there are things that I have never thought I would talk about, but I ended up having to talk about because eventually I was going to meet them. Then how was I going to be able to comfort someone else? So it's all about talking about those buried feelings, so that when you meet such a challenge, you are able to control yourself and actually keep calm, even though it's painful. Yes, it will be painful, but it's not going to be the same as before when you bury those feelings, because now you've already spoke about them, and someone has made you feel better in understanding whatever you were hiding or did not feel comfortable talking about it. So I think that's what helped me when it comes to dealing with emotions.
Like Tokise has said, so as people we should be social workers. So what is it that you can, me as Mahoto, I wouldn't know what to do to somebody if like there's a specific thing that they're crying to me about, or if like it's that sad, then I will most probably cry with them. But what is it like that main thing or one thing that a person can do in order to like help, because we're not professionals as Peter said, but if somebody do come to us and let us know what's wrong or what's going on in their lives, is there like a specific thing that we can do? Because at the end of the day we try to help each other, but if somebody would come to me and I wouldn't know what to do, then I would also feel like I couldn't help. Yeah.
What I can say, guys, the most important thing is being kind. Sometimes you don't have to say anything to a person. Just be kind and look at that person holistically, without any judgmental expression or whatever. So let's say if I come here and then I need your help or whatever, I'm venting, but you don't know how to respond or assist me. The only thing that you can just give me, let me just feel that you're actually listening to me and you care. As I said, the most important thing is kindness. Sometimes you can just listen to me, let me cry, give me tissue or give me water, and then maybe you ask me, okay, since you just told me this, what would you like me to do? Because sometimes we don't even need people to say something. I just need a shoulder to cry on. Just listen to me, let me cry, and then even if I want to leave without talking to you, whether to tell you why I'm crying or not, just let me be. By then you could have done that social work part.
So now, like, you see from my side, I want to take it to a personal level. So like I think, a few years back, I lost my aunt, and so whenever a person is coming to me, like in a sense of, hey bro, okay, friend, I actually lost this particular person. Yeah, I kind of get too emotional to a point where I can't even respond, because whenever that topic is raised, I kind of still get emotional about it. So like from your side, what would you say? What can I actually work on, or how can I approach such situation? Because I believe there's a lot of people like now, what's leading is rape. So you know, like if you were raped back in the days or something, like maybe probably your parents or just in your neighborhood, someone or anyone you got raped, and then someone else a few years later they come back. Most of the time, that one is gonna come back and be and then now when you start to get emotional about it, you will not be able to actually like pamper that person to get better. So in such situations, how would you say I can tackle such or work on it? Because I know it's not just a one step.
I clearly know that grief has a lot of stages. So I guess you haven't reached that the stage of acceptance, and you haven't given yourself much time to actually deal with the loss of your aunt. So that's why every time it takes you back. So you have to work with the loss of your aunt so that you can reach that stage of acceptance. Okay, this is it. I'll never see her, but it doesn't mean that you must forget about her. But it also assists you in order when you meet such challenges, you don't become so emotional. Or maybe one day you reach a stage where you will not cry anymore when you talk about it. But you also have to work on it, work on those feelings. If you have to talk to someone, talk about how you feel, or maybe talk about the memories that you have with your aunt, and then make sure you try to talk about it and the things that you feel when you are alone. Talk to someone that you trust. Okay, this is what I still feel when I talk about my aunt. Or maybe you can also go further as going to see psychologists or social workers in order to actually work on this challenge. If you think it is a challenge, but if you think it's something that you can actually work on it. But you haven't reached that stage of acceptance. But when did she pass away?
2014.
You haven't. So sometimes as a human being you think, no, I am fine, ne? And sometimes we are shy to actually talk about our feelings, ne? Because maybe you didn't even grieve enough because you thought that they are going to say, how are you, why are you still crying? So also those things, I guess you don't actually express your feelings, but imagine you're like, hi, I must not always talk about my aunt, or I must stop crying a lot. No, meaning you didn't do enough that you were supposed to do. Hence now it's still coming back. And as human beings, I know it. I also become I get scared of crying a lot. Let's say someone just passed away and I see no one is crying, ne? But inside, it's painful. So all the time when they talk about that person, I'll always feel teary because I did not deal with it. I shied away from that because our society. So to high way back. Hi.
With what you say about society has an impact on
a lot.
I feel like society has an impact in the sense of, you see, when I was actually younger, I didn't believe in that thing of when things get difficult, just go to your room and cry. When you face certain situations, just cry, just understand, okay, this is it. Yeah, it's not gonna you atheist, you're not gonna see her doing that, but with the spirit, she had to just convince herself. So I feel like society looking at me and being like,
so those things they really catch up with us.
So I think I feel like a lot of us, and I'm sure I'm not the only one.
No, you're not.
The majority of us can't escape certain stages because of what is
grief.
So I'm happy that you actually spoke about society, because I also wanted to understand from both of you. So in the sense of, society, they have this type of thing of, like when you watch news, when you just hear, for example, I'll make an example of rape, because rape is a very big impact.
It is.
So when a person got raped 10 years ago and they decide to conclude now, okay, this happened, society has that question of why did you choose of which sometimes there are certain things that actually occur, and it's not that difficult to just Yeah, but how would you guys, like, what strategy do you guys think we should actually have of understand or kind of making the society understand, guys, there's no duration of reporting a certain incident. It's not that easy when something happens, especially something like rape, when it happens, because there's a lot of things like threats that people might assume they're going to happen and maybe are happening and that. So what approach do you think would be okay in terms of taking that situation?
From my side, I think with something like that, we should actually start to talk about it before it even happens. Okay? For instance, I always think of this because I've read a book. This girl, she was raped by her own uncle, but she couldn't tell her grandmother because it's the uncle. What are they going to eat? And also, she thought like, what is her grandmother going to say? Because why did she keep quiet all this time? And she eventually spoke, and her grandmother did shout at her, why didn't you speak? And I feel like with this kind of things, you talk about them before they happen. We're not saying talk about them because you think they're going to happen, but it's really a thing that you talk about them before they happen. Even if it's your friend, you can tell them, now you have to tell like the police or your mother what has happened to you, because even if it's your uncle, you have to talk about it. And also from my side, with the society, people will be like, why are you wearing that short stuff? You were looking for it. Why wouldn't you cover your body? You were looking for it. I myself, I wear short stuff really, and I would sometimes think about it and say, if I would walk around, people would say, you're looking for it. And sometimes it would even shock me that it's women and also mothers and also girls. And I would think, if you are a mother and then you told your child that if you wear this short dress or short pants and then you go out, the child could get raped. It's not because of her, but a perpetrator is a perpetrator, and she could get raped. And what would she think? My mother told me that this would happen. Let me not tell her, because if I do tell her, she's going to say, I told you so. So that is why I think you should talk about them before they happen, so that you can still come back and say it happened, and it's not your fault, because and then your mother will tell you it's not your fault, other than it happening, and then you come to your parents and then they say you were looking for it. So with this kind of things, especially rape, let's talk about it. Let's teach our girls it's your private part. Don't let anybody touch it. It's not a biscuit, it's your private. Nobody should touch it, even if it's your uncle, even if it's whoever, and so that they can really say he touched it. It's wrong. The child will know that it's wrong. Yeah.
I really agree with you. Now for now, I really don't have an answer for it, because guys, because even our police, sometimes they fail us. You go there, they ask you questions that even makes you regret, why did I even go and report? You go to some families, they'll actually protect that person. You understand? So this thing is very broad, but I understand the way you're saying. Let's start talking about it. Let's teach our children. Let us teach them, so that they don't become us, who could not talk at that time. You kept quiet because you didn't know how to start. And imagine you can't even state it, man, because what? Why were you quiet for all these years? Why? So I think talking about it more, it will also teach the children. Even if it happens, a child will be able to come and say, man just touched me here and here, and then the parents will take it up from there. But for now, it's really broad, guys.
I feel like I'm also happy, but in the sense of talking about it, because I believe personally that a person that has impacted another person are friends. Because if you think about it, our parents can warn us about something for probably 20 years. But then just 1 year,
you do it.
After 1 year of being warned for all these years,
you do it.
Simply sometimes because of peer pressure, and maybe sometimes because you want to do something.
You just want to explore.
So Nyani, if we can actually have this conversation as a machi, and not just talk about maybe businesses or girls or gents, but just also add on the conversation that gents or women have, like depending on the friends you have. Let's just talk about okay guys, man, if such things happen, because some people are not even aware that family members are not supposed to do this. They cannot remember at a later stage. So it would be like they're lying or any of those things. So I feel like if we can have those conversations as friends, we quickly understand them, because when our parents talk, sometimes chokota mama. Understand it, oh, Mara. There are certain times where they talk, be like, yo, Mara,
but
yeah,
deep down.
Yeah, but when your friend is talking, you be like it's, and you actually get interested, and you kind of have a response. So I think in a sense of in a sense of talking is very important.
Can I just add? But you know, guys, I'm also gonna say it in Zulu. The time that we're living in March has made us disconnect from one another. Everyone is busy. Uzama ukulungisa isimo sempilo yakhe. We are not there for each other enough, because you are dealing with your own things, and you also want to succeed. You don't want to be poor. Kunzima emhlabeni, guys. So people don't have time to actually listen or be there for you. So ezinye izinto ezenza ukuthi abantu bangasho lutho bathule, it's because okay, I'm gonna tell you today, but I'm not expecting you ukuthi okay kumele ungicheke ukuthi hey xolela every day, but I'm gonna tell you, sometimes it looks as if into engishilo you don't understand it the way mina it makes me feel. Sometimes I feel like you take it light. It's not that way. It's because you're also dealing with your own demons. Sometimes you go and talk to someone, you tell them about their challenges. Then, the inside, but yeah, this one is busy complaining. For you, it's also a challenge. You need someone, but hey, this person doesn't know how many things or how many challenges I have, and she's crying over this. So, the situation that we live in now has made us disconnect.
I feel like what you just said honestly, I think we are disconnected. Yeah, we're not just friends. Now no one has time for anyone, and I feel like that's also making a lot of situations. So I think now to actually add on, I would say we should actually kind of try to connect. Yeah, but it doesn't mean you have to connect with all our friends. Yeah, just have people around you. Don't be that person that's alone. Yeah, but because even now, S1E1 and stuff, there's a lot of people committing suicide, and a lot of people get shot. And when you ask people about that, did you actually know this person? No, they're always in their room, or they don't have. Yeah, so I feel like everyone needs that person in their life. Yeah, we kind of let's try to connect. Because I feel like if we connect that way, we could be comfortable talking and finding solutions instead of just gathering stress. But one thing about this stress, it will never go away. Never. You will solve this one and boom, something else comes in. But at least when you've got someone to talk to, and you might find out that you have a common situation, common problem, and then things get solved. You will laugh about the situation. If it's like that extreme, then that's where your friend can actually advise you and give you the confidence to actually talk to someone about it. So with those words, don't you guys have any closing you'd like to say?
Okay, with what I have learned today is that let's just be there for each other, because I can be your shoulder to cry on. I can tell you one, two, something that's gonna help you. Or let's just be kind. That's all that we need. Kindness.
What I can say, guys, is that social workers also need you guys. It doesn't mean that when a person is a social worker to not need other people or need someone who's gonna be there for him. Social workers also has challenges. They also have demons that they fight with every day. But if they reach out, if they seek for help, can we guys please at least help? Be there, assist. And sometimes, I'm just gonna state, I was doing community work at some community here in Free State. And sometimes it seems like as if social workers are not doing anything. We do not have resources. We do not have funds. I had to do this project from zero. Then we have to knock in all the doors, and most of the doors are just rejecting and rejecting and rejecting. Then what do you do as a social worker? So if you help social workers to help the communities, then you will see a change. And also, guys, let us be kind to one another. We know that everyone is going through a lot. But if we start taking care of each other, I'm sure we will see a change.
Now, I'd like to say, like, firstly, I feel like I said it before, but number one, let's not be too quick to judge. Let's not assume because as you guys say, there's a lot of people that are going through a lot. Firstly, a lot of people are going through a lot and they don't talk. So if you do not know a story about someone and what's going on, don't be too quick to judge. And secondly, let's try to understand. Let's try to understand. Let's not look down on people simply because of ignorance. We do not know what situations they're facing. And let's also not put timeline on people's problems in the sense of if someone comes up with a scenario of okay, I got raped. Let's not do that thing of why didn't you? No, now they came, respect that, and let's proceed from there. You see, so with those words, I'd like to say, guys, thank you so much. I really appreciate it.
Thank you for inviting us. And can I just say one thing? Guys, before you judge someone for any type of action that they do, for each and every action or behavior that someone does, there's always something behind that behavior. Yes.
Where's my disrespect? Anisebahle.
Thank you.
Anisebahle. Yay.
Thank you.
Guys, no man, thank you so much. I really appreciate it, and I hope everyone that is going to watch it, because from my side I learned a lot, very beneficial, and I hope it's going to be beneficial to you guys. So, guys, before Vale, don't forget to my daughter. Thank you so much. Till next time. I believe. Oh,